Well, ladies and gentlemen, episode 12, 5 topics alive. Hope you've had a wonderful couple of weeks, a little bit of fun. We went off track last week. Of course, we spoke about Winx the Wonder Horse and a little bit behind the scenes. I hope you enjoyed it. It was something different. I was 50-50, but Sparty told me that it was pretty much well received. Sparty, as I say, good morning, good afternoon, goodbye, hello, whatever you want to say.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good, mate. Really good, thank you. Lovely to have the long weekend. Been and done a little bit of work this morning, much like yourself. When I turned up here today, what you can do with a whippersnipper, like a lot of people would underestimate how you can go straight for 10 metres. Do you squint when you do it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Don't do
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were out there. That was unbelievable.
What about I did say to my daughter this morning, I asked my daughter, I said if she'd seen my newspaper. She said to me, Dad, newspapers are old school. She said people use tablets nowadays. She gave me her iPad. The fly didn't stand a chance.
That's very good. Have you subscribed to that site now, or is that just all natural?
I just like the simple one.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah, they don't hurt anyone. There's no
the
cussing.
one was great.
No cussing.
The paranoia one was great. The bloke walks in the library and says to the librarian, I'm looking for books about paranoia. She said they're behind you.
But what's got me, and we've been out a bit recently, and you'll get to this in a moment, but what about how many people don't get the orange joke? It's one of the best jokes ever, and people don't get it.
I couldn't believe it. I was at a function. Daryl Broman said to me, what rhymes with orange? I said, no, it doesn't. Well, we were at a race day. We won't name that.
We won't name the former
a lady who's a champion trainer, lovely trainer, great trainer, and she got it straight away, but her husband, we won't mention his name, but perhaps there's something going on in Iraq at the moment that you could say his name similar to.
Yeah. Or perhaps he made 100 on debut in Adelaide. I don't know.
Maybe he's got a brother who's pretty handy cricketer
who went okay,
named Stephen.
Yeah.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it, did he?
Corey Brown, the jockey, the great man.
Yeah.
Straight through out of Gilchrist, Hills behind him.
Yeah. It's funny how people don't get stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe it says something more about us than them.
I think it does. Yeah. Now, listen.
Yeah.
I thought we'd start a little bit different. We're going to go back to the Winx Day, but there was a whole conglomerate
good word.
of things that happened that day that we both found astonishing.
Well, yeah, and it's a comment on this is a social experiment. You know how much I love doing those, and we were in a modern day 10-hour social experiment, weren't we? When you're thrown together at a table with folk that you don't know all of them, or and it was interesting just to observe what others do. And
a lot of them weren't racing people on a table, and the first one that I found amazing was when the lady said to me, "Oh, you're backing Winx," and I said, "No, I'm not." She automatically said, "Oh, you don't like Winx?"
Yeah, that's right.
I said, "Well, no, that's not the right." I said, "But it's $1.06. I'm backing it. Yeah. I like her." I said, "Well, and I was trying to explain that I think she'll win. I think she's a superstar, but I said I'm not prepared to take $1.06.
You were very patient, I might add. She was a very nice lady.
She was a lovely lady.
She was lovely, but she just didn't understand.
She ran second in the BS.
Yeah.
And that's not what you think it is. It's the buffet steaks.
Yeah.
She ran second.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about her?
Yeah.
She was such a nice lady, and she was a little bit embarrassed herself.
Yeah.
She let the husband get the plates, but I noticed who finished them.
Yeah, it was odd, wasn't it? Mm. I mean, I just led, as you know.
Jumped to the front.
Yeah. Well,
you were Bo Rogue in his
I feel as though this has got a little bit out of control because I've had people, and when I say people, one person, come up to me and say, I heard you made an absolute embarrassment of yourself.
Well, we went on air.
Yeah.
A mate of ours just rang, Maverinsky.
Yeah.
And Maver said, when are we doing this buffet? I want to hear all about it. Yeah. And let me just say, it's the best buffet I've ever seen.
By a mile. And what about when we walked in? Because this is what just took every little bit of constraint or restraint I have in my body. You walk in, and they've already got the food out. It was like 11:15, wasn't it? And they've just got it all there. And it
took me an hour to get to the table.
Well, the thing is, they had it all out there, but who was going to be the first person to crack and actually be the first plate bearer? The plates were there. The cutlery was there. The food was there.
Who went first? An elderly gentleman.
Who
thought, you know what? I'm in my 80s.
Mate.
If I can't go first now, when am I going to go first?
Exactly, and he led. And what about when he led? As soon as he got up. It was like when we've talked about clap
leaders. He hadn't even got from the prawns to the oyster. It was next to each other. There was already a line of 60 behind him.
Exactly on it. So let's just take people through it. Oysters, prawns,
crab,
Angus, crab, pork, superb crackling. Like, you've never seen crackling like it. Fish.
Sashimi.
Yep.
The kingfish was magnificent.
Sashimi, raw fish.
Raw fish. Very funny.
There was some potato. Even the potatoes.
They were good.
They were very
What about
good.
what's that other stuff in between? What do they call it?
Pumpkin?
The salad. There was that green stuff. There was about 4 different of those types of things.
They were flash salads.
And I said to the bloke behind me, I said, mate, leave them. I said, they're going to be here later.
Yeah, don't rush.
I said, go to the other stuff.
But I have never seen a pile of oysters
on your plate that you get.
Well, there was that, but a pile of oysters that just didn't run out. They just seemed, it didn't matter. Look, we'll be conservative. Over the course of the afternoon, is it fair to say 3 dozen oysters?
You had?
Yeah.
Comfortably.
Right, okay. So I was responsible for 36. 48. I had 48 oysters, okay? And what I loved about it, they were on ice, which I love, and they had lime. Not a lot of people go to that extra effort. A lot of lemon's easy.
See,
anyone can do lemon.
I'm a mad natural.
Well, I'm natural with lime and pepper.
No, I don't put lime or pepper. I just go natural. Find them in the sea, open them up, eat them.
Oh, right. Sorry, Albie Mangles. Is this what you used to do when you were growing up? Albie was found to be a lot of things, I think.
But Albie didn't do a lot of the things he said he did.
I think he was doing his hosts.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Was it a lady?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Not anything's wrong with that.
No, he can do whatever he wants. But if you're...
Unless you're Israel.
Hang on. We've gone from the buffet to Albie Mangles. Are you besmirching Albie Mangles in my presence?
Yes, I am.
Oh, how dare you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what also impressed me about the buffet, when you go somewhere and someone's taken the effort to peel the prawns already for you and remove the heads.
They leave the little tail bit.
And what about how it flares out? Like it's a flare. The guts sort of open, well, the guts are gone, but the midriff, if you like, flares out.
They took the shit out. I don't mind in there for a bit of flavor.
Well, I don't really care, but it was beckoning you.
They butterflied them.
Yeah, that's it, butterfly.
Natural.
Yeah. That happens naturally, does it? There's another job next time I get a haircut.
Butterfly.
Prawn peeler. Someone's got to do it.
Butterfly.
I mean, surely there's an expert out. If you're a prawn peeling expert,
now, this is one thing I do want to get to on our table just quickly.
Yeah.
The one gappers.
Oh, what?
So when we arrive, there's 2 people on the table.
Yeah.
There's 10 seats. We leave 2 seats and sit down 2 seats.
As a couple, that's just what we do.
That's what you do.
Right.
The next person comes the other side, leaves 1 seat, and then sits down.
It's never going to work, is it? How's that going to work? It got your goat, didn't it?
Well, it just doesn't make sense.
You know what it does? It defies logic. There's nothing about saying leaving 1 seat.
Well, it leaves 1 either side.
That makes any sense at all. Unless... No, they weren't keeping it for their partner because there was 2 of them.
No, there was 2 of them.
You know what? I'm prepared to call him a dickhead.
It just...
He
the worst thing was, when the last couple come who were... At least our friends...
They were all right. He was all right, yeah.
I don't know, good, but friends of mine.
Yeah.
They come to our side and then we have to move. But we weren't the original 1-seater.
Oh, we didn't leave the gap. Why should we fill the gap?
Why did we have to fill the gap? It did upset me.
And now you're getting me upset because you're going to turn up to the
cutlery, the plate, the...
Well, what did I do? I just gave him the dirty plate.
I know. Well, I thought that was a bit over the top. But it just annoyed me that we weren't the 1 gappers, but we were then made to fill the 1 gapper.
Yeah, stupid. And I was able to drift off because I gave him the plate full of about, I don't know, 24 empty oyster shells, which made it look like they'd eaten it because I felt as though I was starting to get judged. And I've got to admit...
But who goes to a table, realise it's 2, but gets there, there's 2, leaves 1 seat, then puts 2 down.
No one does it, Richard.
Who does it?
No one.
I'm prepared to say that I think the people that get it are on their local PNC and are on the neighbourhood watch.
Both.
Yeah.
It's a rare double.
On the PNC and neighbourhood watch.
And 1 gappers.
1 gappers. I think anyone that's a 1 gapper is on a neighbourhood watch or cleans a monastery at night.
Yeah. I think you're right. You know who I think would be a 1 gapper? Norman.
Yeah, a friend of ours, Norman, who's built his new house and took a while. He's built a bunker under his driveway. I think that's there's nothing more need to be said about Norman.
Now, what about the other night when I dropped you home? After your brilliant, what would you call it? Is it a tip? No, it was a forecast.
I just said at the halftime in the rugby league for those people when they were down 14-0, I thought Cronulla was stupid odds at $5.50 and $6 you get round the track.
Yeah. And they were your
scored,
words.
coming to three, but then Penrith scored again. They got back out to $9, but I was already on at the 5.50, 5.75.
Yeah.
And they come back and won.
Anyway, needless to say, after that happened...
We won 2 seafood trays. Yeah. I noticed our other friend that had won one politely put under his chair and didn't want to open it. Yeah. I opened mine at the table so we could
How good was it? We you and I, just two blokes.
Oh, look, I thought they were ordinary. But at that stage, I'd had 10 wines. Yeah.
But when we got home, it was reasonably late, and I dropped you off. I was driving, so I was responsible, and I only had a few. But there was like an echo of Norman going across the suburb. This poor bloke, do we know if his real name's Norman?
He's not. And I come in the house, and my wife and kids first said, Dad, shh. Yeah. You're very loud.
Yeah. You got grounded.
I said, Norman! Norman!
You got grounded. Anyway, so it was...
I woke up dusty the next morning.
I'm not surprised.
Sadly, my mother-in-law passed away the next morning. Yeah. It was coming, but it was very sad. We'll say goodbye to Joycey. Mm. You know, I wrote a little message on Twitter. She was a lovely lady, Joycey. A job done to perfection was my favourite line I wrote.
Yeah, it was good.
Praised all the kids, done and a great job. Rest in peace, Joycey, my mother-in-law, who was very good to me.
Here. Well done to her. And sounds like she lived a really good life.
Yeah, it's a good innings. She lived a good innings, a lovely lady, Joycey, and we'll farewell her this week. Yeah. The saddest thing in life, the longer you live, which is supposed to be reward in itself, but the smaller your funeral is.
Well, right. So particularly if you get to your 90s, it's...
Well, everyone's gone.
Most of them are gone, aren't they? So you're left with the junior members of the family who are generally old in their self. Anyway, jumping back to the table, Rich, because there's a few more things.
Well, there's 2 more things about the table that we want to talk about. Or one more thing, really. Yeah. We've done the one gappers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to... we've got kids.
Yep.
There was a couple of people there that had got one child.
Oners.
And no disrespect... No. But I didn't even ask them about their kid.
No.
I was there to punt and job all day and meet people and that.
And eat.
And go down and see Waller and work, Winks and that. But
and eat.
I thought the 17th time they brought up their child in conversation.
Yeah.
I thought was fractionally over the top. And, may I well say, a little bit self-centered and rude. Look, I love to talk about my kids too because I think they're superstars.
We like to be proud of our children. And I feel there's a time and a place, though. I mean, I'd never met the person either, and it was a lady. She started talking about, let's just call her Meredith, because who'd call their child Meredith? Not real name.
Meredith.
Not real name.
Not a common name, is it?
No. So that's why I'm safe to say that this child's name is Meredith, in brackets, not really. Okay? So we're clear.
So some names have been changed to protect the identity of those.
Such as Meredith and her mother.
Doris
and Meredith. And she was talking to me about how she was taking the kid was going to go and do skiing in the upcoming winter. Okay, yeah, right, that's good. And she's the under-12 skiing champion.
But where?
Well, that's what I thought. I think to myself, how many 12-year-old kids would get an opportunity to be in skiing races? So that was my first thing. And then we moved from skiing, and then she does dancing. And that sort of pricked my ears a little bit because my kids do dancing.
You've spent about 200,000?
More, nearly 300. And
even if you needed it?
Yeah, I've got plenty, you know that. And and talking, so that sort of... and
you're wearing a New York Yankees hat. Yeah. I was going to call you GS, just Steinberger.
Yeah, that's it. I'm lucky I got pants on. Anyway, so that piqued my interest a little bit, and so I sort of made the comment.
Hello, Frank. George is dead. Ring me.
That piqued my interest. As a matter of fact, my daughter is doing a full-time... Didn't matter. Then we jumped on to how the daughter is going to do this.
What did I do?
You got up and left.
100%.
Yeah. As usual, I looked around for about the 30th time in the day, and you weren't there, like when you left me in the jockey's room. I'm still angry about that.
What do I say? Nothing improves a horse's ability more than ownership, and... No one thinks your kids are as beautiful as
you do. And look, we're not having a shot. Be proud of your kids, do all that, because we all are. But I reckon there's a limit when you can chew someone's ear off. For what I tallied it in the end, over the whole course of the afternoon, we got to 1:47 talking about Meredith, again in brackets, not real name.
Now listen, another topic. Another topic. And we're different in this regard. I'm a street namer.
Yeah.
When we're travelling places.
Yeah.
You're a location marker.
Yeah, I think...
You know what? And it's funny, there's a lot of people that are location markers.
Yeah.
Like one of the great sports broadcasters, Ray Warren.
Yeah.
Rabbits. If you say to Rabbits, how do I get from, say, St Kilda to Hawthorn?
Yep.
a rabbit would say, right, well, you head straight down past Dr. Jones's surgery. It's on the corner there.
Yeah.
He said, if you turn left at surgery, he said, then you go past the medical centre on the next corner, which is 2 streets up from the other.
Yeah.
He said, turn right there. He said, then there's a pharmacy.
Yeah.
And, you'll see the big yellow pharmacy. He said, if you go around the back of the pharmacy, there's a little lane.
Yeah.
In the back of the lane is actually, he said, you wouldn't believe it, they do MRIs and that in there and X-rays. He said, go past that.
Yeah.
He said, right down the end of Royal Prince Alfred. He turned left there, and then further down, he said, you hit Hawthorn.
Yeah, so that's what I'm like. I'll be like, well, there's a pub or there's a bike shop on the corner, and then you turn. You'll say to me, righto, you go up Jones Street for 200. It's like a bloody GPS. You'll go up Jones Street for 200 metres, and then you'll hit T intersection. You'll do a little dog leg to the left. Don't go right, whatever you do. Don't go right. And then we'll get a little dog leg into McAllister Lane. And then, the only street, I'll be honest, I know 2 streets' name in this area. It's my own, and it's Tripod Street, which was famously...
Which is self-explanatory.
They're the 2 street names I know in this whole area.
I like your street name.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my single days, perhaps when I needed more massage. Lavender.
It's very quaint, isn't it?
Lavender. There's a girl at our girls' school's name's Lavender.
Really? You reckon they call her Lav?
No, they call her Lavender.
She's a full name.
What possesses them to call a kid Lavender?
I like the flower. She may have been conceived in the street.
But there's an oil lavender, isn't there? The lavender oil, because it comes from the flower.
It's an essential oil, Richard. Yeah. Of course there's one.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah. Lavender's very good for sleep.
I remember that person used to ask me, would you like the flame as well? No, I was going to go,
There's one for... Let's go with odd names, because next time, whenever we do this, we'll do this once a week, episode 13. Are we going to skip 13 for superstitious reason? Because that's what I want to get to now.
What?
You and your kooky superstition.
I've got different superstitions, but the one that I think you're going to bring up is not a superstition.
Well, it's not normal.
You're talking about the race book.
Well, of course I'm talking about the race book.
I bite the race book. The piece I chew it, but I throw it out. I just keep up to date. So if it's race 4, I chew up to race 4, race 5, then I chew the next bit of paper, but I spit them out. I don't eat the paper. I'm not a paper
eater.
I'm not a paper cannibal.
Well, I looked over and saw, I don't know, normal people would either fold the page or rip it off. I'm not sure why you had to put it in your mouth. That's the part I'm not understanding. And I think we're at the point in our relationship where we can be honest with each other. You swallowed it, man. You're a swallower.
I didn't swallow it. I spat it out.
It went in and it didn't come out.
I put it on the end of my fingers and then I flick it.
Well, you can say that.
And then you look at it and you go, oh, look at that bloke. It's on the back of his jacket.
I just looked over at you and I didn't even say anything, did I? I just looked at you chewing your bloody book. You kooky bastard. Anyway, street names versus location markers. What are you? It's not a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not what sex you are, whether you're male or female. I think it knows no bounds. What's your thought?
No, I'm superstitious on different things.
Cricketers are the worst.
I told you about I went and watched my little nephew, talking about names.
Yeah.
But, I warmed to this name. I've got a little nephew called Digger.
Good name.
And he's a digger. My brother, Matt, was walking the Kokoda Trail. And
is that where it came from?
Yeah, very proud moment. Yeah. He come back. His wife was pregnant, or his partner, then wife, was, and they named the kid Digger. Yeah. My mum wasn't a fan for a couple of weeks. But he's a digger. And Digger was playing in his school sport. And I went and watched. And in this age group, you get 30 runs, you retire, your face shaking.
So under 10s or something like that, is it?
Well, it's his school versus another school. Anyway.
So primary school.
First kid goes... No, he's in year 6, yeah. First kid goes out from... his side were bowling, and they were bowling very poorly. Yeah. The other kid gets 30, he retires. Another kid goes in, then the opener gets 30, retires, and this other kid goes in. As he's walking in, he does the sign of the cross. And I thought to myself...
Hang on, what, on himself?
Yeah, on himself. Like, you see a few of them. They see the Americans or a few.
I always get the order wrong.
He did the start. He did the sign of the cross.
Yeah.
And I laughed and I said, I hope that helps you. Well, the other kid then retires with 30, and our man done the sign of the cross. Yeah. He got 1. Right. Every other batter was getting 30. I couldn't help myself. He come past me. I said, you going to have a word to your mate about that?
He must have been busy helping Aaron Badley win a golf tournament somewhere.
He might have been with Scotty Morris.
Yeah, he says something. What about?
We don't want to get into religion. I don't want to get into religion.
Oh, I was going to talk about Scott Morrison at the footy. What a complete
What do you call a Gordon? Like, I call a Gordon a bloke who just looks like a misfit.
Yep.
Doesn't fit in. Look, well, at the football, Scott Morrison doing his little arm twirl. Oh,
And when was the last time?
it looks like John Howard bowling. It looks like Bill Shorten walking.
Yeah, no,
it just looks
or
awkward.
Bill Shorten eating the sausage sizzle that time. Remember that on the sausage roll?
Yeah, embarrassing.
Hey, I know, and I'll say
You know what? Let me say this.
Yeah, I want to hear
This
it.
is I love politics, you know that.
Mm.
And let me just say this, because it's neither side. This will be the first federal election I feel like walking into the booth, get my name ticked off, and just ripping the shit out of the ballot papers and throwing them in the garbage bin.
And you know what it is?
I've got no interest in either leader
and I'll tell you
and
why.
a lot of their policies.
And I know why. Because neither of them appear genuine.
100%.
It's a show. You're not getting who you think you're getting, you know?
I think if Julia Bishop, and look, this is not saying I liked it, but if Julia Bishop was in charge, I think Liberal morals, and I think if Labor had put Anthony Albanese in charge, they were unbeatable.
Double A.
Double A, Anthony Albanese, AA, right at the top of the alphabet.
2 by A to the power of 2, A squared, A plus A.
A plus A equals A. I don't know if either of them are liked by the community.
Well, they're not. We've got to have one.
And what about, and as bad as they are, the bloke who leads the National Party, what's his name, McCormick?
Yeah.
Did you see him yesterday?
No.
LD.
Yeah.
Lapdog, that is, walking behind Scotty Morrison at the Easter show.
Was he a nodder? A lapdog nodder?
He nodded.
Yeah.
Even when he got off that big ride, he was still nodding. I think that was just the ride, though.
Unfortunately, I
can't remember the last time I was totally uninterested in the
it's just got to come down to what your local person can do for you. Got to put these bullfeds aside, I think.
I think if you talk about personalities in the New South Wales election, Gladys beat the bloke who pinned his whole campaign on the stadiums.
Mm.
Yeah, interesting though.
Yeah, you know who we should get on as a guest?
Who should we get on?
Anthony Green. I'd love to speak to him.
Who is he?
He's the bloke on the ABC that does the predicts what the outcomes of the elections will be. Imagine this for him: 2 within like 8 weeks. 2 elections. He's got the state one, and then he gets a federal one.
They're just as bad. They're just as bad as the Weather Bureau. They can't tell if it's raining.
He's a non-H Anthony. He's an Anthony, even though the H is there.
I know it.
You've met him.
I've met a few of them.
You've met him.
I've met a few of those.
You've met him.
Yeah.
We've all met him, haven't we?
Yeah, we've all met him.
It's like calling you Rick. You're not Rickard.
No.
You're Richard.
Yeah.
There's an H.
Yes.
Yeah, we've met him.
Well, I've met, I met Stevens who spell it with a PH.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's Stefan.
I will call him Stefan. If I meet a Stephen with a PH.
My brother Stevens, Steven, because that's Stephen.
Stephen.
Like Steve Even.
What about Graham?
Steve Even.
Graham, Graham. That's Graham.
Graham.
Graham, Graeme, is Graeme.
You wouldn't believe it. I only know 2 really Grahams, and they're both Graeme.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yet when I was growing up, I had a Graham in my class.
Yeah, Graham McCutcheon.
Oh, God, he had some thick glasses.
Did he?
And he was a very average cricketer, but his old man was very influential in our school.
What, the coach?
And he used to, it certainly helped him get into the side.
Yeah.
And anyway, he got duck, and his dad just said, Graham's just out of form.
Mm.
I said, no, listen.
How old were you?
To be out of form, you must have once
been in
form. I said, what you're seeing is Graham's form.
And I'm tipping that Graham is head of P&C today, head of P&C. And what were we talking about
I think
before?
he followed his father into the police force.
Oh, did he?
Mm.
Yeah. Graham, if you're out there, give us a call. Or give Richie a call. I don't know. You don't know my number.
Yeah, you got mine over.
If you want his.
Now, listen, what about this?
Talk about.
I was only talking to a couple of journalists yesterday.
Yeah.
What state have we come in Australia that journalists are now writing stories?
As in fiction?
In fiction, or just write to get clicks?
I reckon it's very prevalent.
I'd say 90%.
Really?
Yeah.
Of the even the
stories in everywhere. I think journalists are more just writing stories for clicks.
So you know a bit more about this than me. When you're pitching a story to, say, your editor or whoever it is, who's the one that decides on the headline?
Oh, usually the editor, the sub-editor.
So if there's
juicy, the journo doesn't do that.
But if the journo's got juicy, let's just say fiction, and then the sub-editor goes, wow, this is going to be good. So they get a good headline out of it, which means people are going to go there, which means advertising, which means whatever. 100%. I think that's very common, I would say.
I like journalists that write without fear nor favour.
Yeah, they're FFs. FNFs. Fear nor favour.
Anyway, one last thing before we go.
We'll go to Dr. Richie.
Oh, Dr. Richie, hey,
Okay, very
come on,
quickly,
come on.
Dr.
I've got that and then Seinfeld.
Okay. With the long weekend, I've been contacted by someone and they want me to ask you this.
Okay.
Their wife's gone away, okay? They're due back this afternoon at 5 o'clock. They were left with a list of jobs to do. And they've said, any tips for creating an illusion that you've been really busy all weekend so that when your wife gets home from their weekend away, she doesn't know that you've been watching sport all day, races, and basically doing nothing, and the list of jobs haven't been done. He now has about 3 hours before she's due back.
Yeah.
She left on Thursday night.
You just got to do the major ones, the obvious ones. The obvious ones, and do them well.
Mm. So pick and stick.
Pick a couple. You can't do them all. Or if you've got a young girl or boy or someone that lives next door, or you've got your kids,
Geez, you're good.
financial reward is nice and easy.
Yeah.
Listen, kids, I'll pay you $50 to do it.
Mm.
If you tell your mother, I'll get the 50 back.
And I'll tell them about how you snuck in late
Exactly
the other
right,
night.
100%.
Geez, you're good. Where did you study?
Mm.
Where did you study? Because
That is at Goulburn.
Did you?
Supermax.
So, look, I'm sorry. Someone sent me that on Twitter. I don't know who it was, but
I
I
just want to give a wrap out. You know what?
Yeah.
Some AFL people don't like this show, but I love it.
Yeah.
Bounce with Jason Dunstall, Danny Frawley, and what's his name? Karen Mooney.
Oh, mate, you know how much
Jeez, I love it.
I love AFL.
I think they're
how
very
much I
funny.
do. If
I think they've got rugby league covered by 100 yards in humour.
Oh, mate, if the Carlton Bulldogs don't win the flag this year, there's going to be absolute
They
travesty.
won this weekend by shit in a lot.
A lot. I know they did.
And
That's why I'm on them.
Their form's been no good because they got beat by the Swans.
Yeah.
And the Swans next week are playing Pimble under eights.
Are we going out to watch them next
Pimble
week?
are $1.70.
Buddy wants out.
I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
What Seinfeld character
Yep.
would be involved some way in the Sandpaper Gate?
Okay.
Who played Bancroft, or who played Warner, who'd play Smith, or who'd play a bowler?
So, in your view, who was the orchestrator? Well, the
Warner.
common view is that Warner was the orchestrator.
Yeah.
Bob Cobb.
Bob Cobb.
Mate,
Better known as
the maestro.
the Maestro.
He had a cricket bat named after him, GM. He can do anything once you call him the maestro. There's only one character, Bob Cobb.
See, I'd have... You remember when Elaine in the cafe was upset because all the waitresses seemed to be well proportioned in relation to their breast sizes.
Oh, right.
And she went to the Equal Opportunity and complained.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, heavy-chested, they call it.
Yeah, heavy-chested.
Mm.
And then the boys from the office all come there to check it
That's
out.
right. Yes.
So I say they're the fast bowlers, those blokes. They
Right.
know what was happening,
Yeah. Right.
but they didn't want to
They
believe
didn't want to believe it. Geez, you're good. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
it.
Well done. So they're the fast bowlers in this. So they're the fourth character.
They're the fourth character.
The ones I know nothing.
I know nothing.
Yeah,
Colonel Chosen Schultz.
It's like me, every day, all my various tools, I look at them, I know what condition they're in every day, yet their main tool of the trade, didn't notice it had changed. Anyway,
We've got to go.
We do.
Have a great week, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed this episode.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
I got
5
so-
Topics of Life, at 5 Topics of Life, at Sparty Talkback, at Richie Please. Be good, everybody.
See ya.